Hi, welcome back to Press Play Action. It's Mitchell Lee, it's Tommy Grant, it's Brandon too. And this is when we come back to the IMDb list. And I don't know if you paid attention when we did our drunk show a few months ago, something along those lines. We did just like
we didn't pay attention to our drunk selves talking.
Well, yeah, because
True,
I was
yeah.
I was
Well,
drunk.
no,
don't
I
listen to
did.
you when I'm
I
drunk.
did. On record, these are my picks. So,
But yes, they're your picks because I can't remember if it was me or Tommy or some kind of melding of the two. I think I wrote them down and then Tommy spreadsheeted them, and then we just kind of used them as a like, hey, let's look at these when we do like random like IMDb movie pairings, and we have a good one today thanks to Mr. Brandon too. Well, I'm not going to say thanks to Mr. Brandon too. You didn't make these damn movies, but
I put them together on the
that is true. We are going back to kind of the roots of our podcast. We used to do these kind of who should have won Best Picture episodes when we first got going, and that's what we're going to be doing today. Because back in 2007, we had a clash of the Titans, so to speak, at the Academy Awards between the Coen Brothers, No Country for Old Men, as well as Paul Thomas Anderson's beloved film, There Will Be Blood. And we're going to talk about the Oscars. We're going to talk about our opinions of the movies. And we're going to give a final verdict as well. So before I get started here, I do kind of want to go into what the Oscars looked like for these two, because it was a clash of the Titans, and 2007 is considered to be a really damn good year for movies with these two at the top. No Country for Old Men was the winner as far as Best Picture goes.
I did not know that. Nice.
It beat There Will Be Blood, Atonement, Juno, and Michael Clayton for Best Picture. Joel Coen and Ethan Coen won Best Directing for No Country for Old Men. Daniel Day-Lewis won the Oscar for Best Actor for There Will Be Blood.
Can we get this out of the way? The decade, scratch that. The last 20 years, best performance.
We'll get to that. Oh, we'll get to that. We can,
okay. I'll table it, but
we can smother him with praise later, and believe me, we will. Same with this performance. Javier Bardem won Best Supporting Actor for No Country for Old Men. Those were the only, and it's kind of surprising if you think about it, those were the only two acting performances nominated for those two movies. You didn't get Josh Brolin for anything. You didn't get Paul Dano for anything. Nothing like that. But the only two performances, and they did both win. Adapted screenplay, because both of these movies were based on books. No Country for Old Men did win for Best Adapted Screenplay. Let's see here. Neither of them nominated for Best Score, which makes sense because No Country for Old Men literally had no music in it. So that would be odd. There will be, both movies lost Best Sound Editing to The Bourne Ultimatum.
Yeah,
and
good pick.
No Country for Old Men was nominated for Best Sound Mixing, lost to The Bourne Ultimatum. Best Art Direction, There Will Be Blood, lost to Sweeney Todd. Best Cinematography, that one went to There Will Be Blood, and it did beat No Country
movies,
for Old Men.
Sweeney Todd and No Country for Old Men. Adjacent movies. People just
so.
murdering people for no reason. That's what Sweeney Todd is about. It's just about a demon barber who just murders people. So.
I still need to see that one. Haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
And then Best Film Editing, No Country for Old Men and There Will Be Blood, both lost to The Bourne Ultimatum. The Bourne Ultimatum winning 3 Oscars, which was the second most.
That was a good movie.
I don't want to like jump the gun and talk about a different franchise or like different movies. But we love it. Bourne Ultimatum, your favorite Bourne movie?
Bourne Identity. I don't think anything beat that for me.
3, 1, 2 is my order for for the Bourne movies.
Yeah, I
I'd
think
go
it'd be
1,
3
3,
and
2.
1. I think it'd be. Yeah, I think I go 1, 3, 2 as well. But it's very close between 1 and 3.
We also don't acknowledge Bourne Legacy or Jason Bourne. So
Sure.
I'm glad we're all on the same page there.
Yeah, we are.
But yeah, that's how the Oscars went down. It was seen as a clash of the Titans between No Country for Old Men and There Will Be Blood, with No Country for Old Men winning. So we'll talk about that one first. It also came out earlier. Again, Joel Coen, Ethan Coen, based on a 2005 novel by Cormac McCarthy. So this thing got turned from novel to movie
They were like this
very quickly.
They were like, this story rocks. Let's roll with it.
We need to get this thing out there.
Which the
And
plot, by
Cormac
the way,
McCarthy. Go ahead.
the plot just, I don't know, man. I started watching this movie. I was like, damn, there's a lot going on here.
This thing stars Tommy Lee Jones, Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin, Kelly MacDonald, Woody Harrelson. It's shot by Roger Deakins, who is perhaps the greatest cinematographer of all time, if not one of them.
If you're speaking to someone on this podcast, the answer would be yes.
I mean,
in my opinion,
one
he
of
is
the
the
goats.
best.
Shawshank, Skyfall, No Country for Old Men, Blade Runner 2049, 1917.
Yep.
The man is a legend. This movie cost $25 million. It made $171 million. It did well. And it made $74 million in the United States, largely driven by word of mouth and people talking it up and the
Just
Oscar
being
buzz.
like, this movie's awesome.
Exactly, yeah. This movie was the 36th highest grossing movie of 2007.
Kind of makes sense, but
I mean, it is a smaller movie. So, it came out in November. Can you tell me the 4 movies that came out in November of 2007 that grossed more than No Country for Old Men?
Jeez.
I don't know if I can remember November 2007 movies.
I'll give you the one that I know you won't get. Okay? And that's Beowulf. There's like an animated Robert Zemeckis style Beowulf. I've heard it's good. I've never seen it. Yeah. But then there's
was American Gangster 2007?
American Gangster was the highest grossing movie to come out in November of 2007. Which is crazy.
We talked about this being a 2007 movie because we just did Bug's Life and we talked about this movie. B movie came out the same day as American Gangster. What a double feature that would have been. And then you got one more, probably the most beloved one. Christmas Time? Fred Claus?
Nope. Fred Claus made less than No Country for Old Men.
Okay.
Golden Compass.
No. Golden Compass came out in December.
He's thinking like Disney movie.
I am. But not in the way you think.
Enchanted?
Yeah.
Boom.
There you go. Brandon's killing it.
2007.
Yeah, step up your game, Tommy.
Suck it.
I'm not
I know. I also know. Saul for a fact was in theaters at that point, like Saul 4 or whatever.
Yeah, but that's an October release. They got to get the Halloween crowd. Yeah. But this movie follows a character, Llewellyn Moss, played by Josh Brolin, and he comes across I think it's $2 million in cash in the desert after. Some shit went down. Might have been some.
It was a drug deal.
Drugs
right?
involved.
Yeah, it was a drug deal.
And people got to shooting, and everyone was just either dead or gone, but the money was still there, and he's just like, "Well, don't mind if I do," and takes that. And Javier Bardem's like, "I'll be damned if this doofus is gonna take that money. I'm gonna shoot everyone with this damn air gun that I can." To get this thing.
Yeah, can we get this out of the way early? The air gun. Crazy use of a weapon, I should say. That man's just like pumping that shit at people, blowing people up. Also,
to quote your local 15-year-old, that thing had aura.
Yeah, fair. Also, Javier Bardem. Aura. Like he does not look the same as he looks in like F1 or
No,
Dune or
no.
yeah.
He literally looks disturbing in this movie, and I love it.
I don't understand. I didn't realize it was him. Like I didn't look up like who played the character. I was like, I want to go in completely blind. I like don't want to know anything.
Wait, is this your first time watching that movie?
Yeah, first time watching it. I wanted to go completely
Damn,
blind.
okay.
Didn't know who it was. Then I looked it up afterwards. I was like, that was Javier Bardem. I was like,
Wait,
I was like sick. I was like, this guy's a freak.
Yeah, I saw this movie for the first time about 12 years ago, and I will be fully transparent. This movie did shrink on me a little bit.
Fair
The
enough.
second watch, it is still a movie that I love, but I was like flirting with an A+ the first time I watched it. And
Would it have won Best Picture for you? Now that we've watched the two movies,
I mean, I think we can kind of get into that just a little bit, but I'll get into it more later. Fuck no.
Okay, yeah.
No, I would have gone the other direction with Best Picture.
I
But
would
that
have
doesn't
gone
mean
the other direction and said Born Ultimatum.
Ooh.
well that wasn't. Believe it or not, that was not nominated for Best Picture.
Which is it seems kind of crazy.
So I'll have to see Atonement, Michael Clayton, and Juno, which I've heard great things about all of those movies. But no, I think it would be pretty obvious where I would go. But as far as No Country for Old Men goes, my problem with the movie lies in the conclusion, really.
Yeah.
And the last,
it just
again,
ends.
15, 20 minutes or so. I think that Javier Bardem, everything with his character is fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Brolin, everything with his character, fascinating. And maybe I'm just a fucking idiot. Anything having to do with Tommy Lee Jones, I just did not care as much about.
So I like Tommy Lee Jones. I think he's a great actor.
Of course.
I think when you use him as voice work too, like he voice over stuff, it sounds really good. But yeah, I kind of agree with you. Everything with his character is just like not as good as the other two guys. And so it's like you really have like what, an A plot, A2 plot, like a B plot, and then a C plot. Like you basically have like three different plot lines going on. And it's just like the third plot line with Tommy Lee Jones, who I guess is the lead of this movie or one of the leads. It just isn't as good.
Yeah, he gets the lead credit, and I kind of think the lead for this movie is Josh Brolin.
Yeah,
but
agreed. I think Javier Bardem is like a great supporting actor, and I don't know if he won, but he probably should have.
No, I just went through this, Brandon. He won. Oh, okay. he won.
I mean, we'll get into it. There will be blood. I don't think Paul Dano is as bad as some people say Paul Dano was, but I think Paul Dano was really good. But yeah, the supporting Javier Bardem, I think he makes this movie. Let's just put that out there.
I don't think Josh Brolin gets enough credit for how good he is in this either.
He is,
because I really do like his character.
You got to stop worrying.
They have I think that almost like the point of the movie is that he has absolutely no idea how in over his head he is. He thinks that he does, but he has no idea.
Tells his fiance, wife, whoever she is, I'm about to go do something stupid, but if I don't make it back, tell my mother that I love her. It's like your mother's been dead. It's like, oh, well, then I'll tell her. I'll tell her myself. It's like, he doesn't realize the character, how dangerous.
The character that I think really brings it into focus, and I wish he was in it more because I loved every second that he was in this thing, and that's Woody Harrelson.
So I was gonna make the joke, hit or miss Woody Harrelson. This is a hit, right?
Major hit.
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, target. Yeah,
he's
on target.
He's
Woody
fantastic.
Right.
I just remember that line like dangerous compared to the bubonic plague. Like I loved every second that Woody Harrelson was on screen in this movie.
It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean dangerous? Like, what terms? It's like.
I love Javier Bardem. Every scene that he's in, they do a great job. And the Coen Brothers, obviously, they took home Best Director.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not an
But
idiot. When he's flipping the coin with the gas station guy, he's debating if he wants to kill him, right?
oh yeah,
Okay, no, okay. Tommy just shook his head no
yeah.
when
don't,
you
Why'd you
said
shake
yeah.
your head?
I don't think he was debating. It was just
The coin, the
Well, I
coin
don't think
would
he was.
tell him.
He wasn't
No.
debating it. He
The
was just
coin
like,
was
I just want
telling
to
him
have some
whether.
fun with this
Yeah,
guy.
the coin is gonna tell him whether he's gonna shoot the guy in the head or not. Yeah.
Also, every single I'm gonna get into something that might not be the most fun thing to get into. This is 1980 in Texas, and these are all like the most white redneck people in the world. You're telling me that if someone of a darker complexion went up to them and was acting kind of like strange like this, no one in Texas had a gun to pull on Javier Bardem?
That's a good point, Mitchell.
They were all acting like what, like they all acted lobotomized. Like they were just surprised that this dude might have with the fucking air gun.
I don't feel bad about like the first guy who like got out of the car, but like as soon as I saw the air gun, I was like, oh no! I was like, he's about to pop this guy's head off.
yeah,
I
but
was like,
It was unintentional.
This is like the early '80s in Texas, where you have the small town,
like in the middle of nowhere, Texas too. In the middle of nowhere, you would think.
And by the
like,
way, I just want to make my I just want to make it clear, I do not advocate shooting people because they have different skin color.
well,
No,
no.
I
That's
just
fine.
wanted to make sure.
We all
I'm just
got
saying-
where you were going.
I'm
with
just
it,
saying,
You
in
don't
this
advocate
movie,
shooting
in this
anybody,
sense,
Mitchell.
not
we don't
one
advocate
of them.
shooting anyone. But if
No.
a guy was to show up with an air gun and put it in my face, I'd probably shoot.
I
him.
was just surprised that all of them were just answering all of his questions. None of them are even so much like, why don't you stop asking me all these damn questions?
I do think it was funny. The lady in the in like the rental car office or like wherever he was at was like,
Yeah, she was the one with the biggest balls.
He's not back, you bitch. Get out of my office.
I can't tell you where he works, and he was just like, fuck, all right, damn.
She was like, but you can see it. You can see in Javier Bardem's in like Anton's face. He's like, it's like going in his head, like the gears are turning. He's like, should I kill her? He's like debating if he should kill everyone he meets. Like that's what makes this movie like unhinged. Is he just goes on a killing spree?
I really enjoy the use of the coin toss in this movie, and
the coin toss is crazy.
It's kind of the one part I do enjoy about.
How much have you ever risked on a coin toss? It's like,
yeah. Well, like I kind of enjoyed his interaction with Carla Jean in the end.
Yeah,
where she basically like tears him down and says like, no, like you keep offering as if it's like a game to play, but it's like this is your choice. You're choosing by initiating the coin.
You're choosing to flip the coin. Yeah.
Because you want it to land.
Right. Like he wanted that coin to be tails so he could shoot the gas station worker in the head.
Yeah.
But yeah. Which is just crazy to me. And then he subtly threatens him too. Again, Mitchell, to your point, that guy's in the middle of nowhere, Texas, behind the counter. This guy comes up to him and he's like, how much are the peanuts? 69 cents. And then he starts like getting like very like attitude with him. Like, why do you need to know where I'm from? Like, I'm from down, like blah, blah, blah. And it's like, if a guy started talking to me like that in the middle of nowhere, I wouldn't be like, oh, we're closed. I'd be like, let me pull the pistol from behind this counter on you.
I am petitioning Javier Bardem should be the next Harvey Dent since he's already got the coin toss down.
That would actually be, speaking of Batman characters in movies that we were watching. I think some of these performances are displaying like why Paul Dano was chosen as the Riddler and why he would make a pretty good Harvey Dent. If he like decided to be Harvey Dent,
yeah.
So there's a few interesting
maybe
casting
Scarecrow,
notes from this movie. Originally, Heath Ledger was supposed to be Josh Brolin's character, but he turned down that role.
That would have been iconic.
He turned down that role because he just had a kid and he wanted to spend some time with his newborn daughter. Javier Bardem nearly withdrew from the role. And do you know who was kind of on standby in case he did not? I'm having a lot of trouble seeing this. This movie would have, like the actor, but it would have been drastically different, and I don't think it would have been anywhere near as good. Mark Strong.
Nah.
I'm not seeing
No.
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 You need an unhinged person,
He
and
wouldn't-
that's what
he
Javier
wouldn't-
Bardem is.
And Mark Strong has
wouldn't-
played a
What
lot of
is-
good villains. Sherlock Holmes, Kick-Ass. He's done good
Yeah, yeah.
villains, but
He
it's
just,
different.
I don't think he's doing
He wouldn't have
this.
been able to bring that creepy, demented aspect that Javier really brings out in this role.
I think he plays good mob boss. Again, like he did in Kick-Ass. He played that role really well. I don't think he plays
unhinged serial killer.
Unhinged, but also the smartest person in the room that's already thought 10 moves ahead of you type of deal. There's a reason why, he's a good first villain for a Sherlock Holmes movie because he's smart, but he's not that, and so Sherlock Holmes gets to flex his muscle and then you bring in Moriarty. I think that, because that's one of the things that I think, this guy, Anton, he's thinking 10 steps ahead. No one knows where he's going to be. No one can seem to predict it. And that's what makes him even more scary, is he doesn't feel like someone that's just doing things. He's not the Joker, as much as people have compared, because he's not doing things randomly. He has a plan, and
it's not really about
has its
chaos.
purpose.
It's just about like, this is who I like. This is like the path
I'll create
I put
chaos,
before me.
but it's more organized. Like I'll blow up that car, but
it's like the path set before him. He's like, I'm getting this money.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like what he said with the coin. It's been traveling to get here, and now it's here, and you need to call it.
Yeah. He's been in so many movies that we've already reviewed. Like Collateral, he's the drug boss in Collateral. Like, yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean,
that's one movie.
No, I know. I'm
trying to think of what else he's been in that we've talked about. We haven't talked about Skyfall. We haven't talked about the Dune movies.
We talked about F1. We talked about F1. He was Captain Salazar in the Pirates movie.
And, I like to forget about that movie.
But maybe this is a credit to Javier Bardem. You almost forget that he's in these other roles because he's like so good at adapting to the role that he's in, and like he's almost like a chameleon in the way he like looks in a lot of these roles. Like you really don't know that it's Javier Bardem.
It's all
you don't know that it's Javier Bardem until you're like, oh, that's Javier Bardem. Like yeah. It is the hair.
When he needs to lock, or when he really wants to lock in, particularly for something like No Country for Old Men or for Skyfall, he can really do it. And he can easily be one of the best when he locks in and wants to be. If you've not seen Skyfall, you'll see a lot of similarities between his character here and his character in Skyfall, but there's also a lot of differences that make the character not just a retread, and he is a little bit more kind of a showman, I guess, his character in Skyfall. So that's another one that if you like this, check that out. Obviously, it's a little bit lighter than No Country for Old Men because it can get to pretty dark places.
Blowing out the brains of a guy with an air gun, like the first 2 minutes in the movie.
The movie opens with someone getting choked out, basically.
Yeah. By the way, you would just put the guy behind you in handcuffs and be like,
that was a poor choice.
Not smart. Deputy work there.
No. How do we feel about the ending of this movie? I'll let you guys take it first.
My thing is, it kind of just like ends. Like there's a conclusion, but like not really. Like I don't know. I just don't feel satisfied with it.
I enjoyed the lead up to the end, but then the end sucked.
It just like happens, and then you're just like, oh, okay, the movie's over. And then Tommy Lee Jones is saying some words, and then the movie ends.
Like I didn't see any significance to what Tommy Lee Jones was even talking about. I was like, this is how we're ending it.
That's where I have the issues. I know a lot of people are like, I wanted a big showdown between Josh Brolin and Javier
It's
Bardem.
like nothing ever happens. Yeah.
I didn't need that. I would have maybe liked to not have him just kind of die off screen and then show what happened. But the end, I feel like it really overestimates just how much you give a fuck about Tommy Lee Jones's character. And it really leans on him for the conclusion of the movie, whereas that's just not where I found my interests lying in the movie at all. And so it felt unfulfilling to me in that regard.
Also, the car accident just happens, and then the kids walk up to him and they're like, "Oh, your bone is sticking out. Like, you okay?" And then he's like, "Give me your shirt. I'll give you like $100 or whatever he gives him." And then he's like, "You guys didn't see me," and it's like, what? Like again, this is how this movie ends. Like this is like it's just very, very odd ending if you ask me. Very odd ending. I don't love the whole shirt scene. He just walks away from this big crash. I'm like, again, to your point, Mitchell, we're not just gonna see this guy randomly limping around with like cuts on his face. Like the police aren't gonna find this guy. Like he's just gonna disappear. But maybe that's just because that's how good he is. But it's just like
he's also just a strange looking fucking guy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta have an idea what he looks like by this point.
Well, that too.
I don't know. I wanted to enjoy it more than I did, but I do still think this is an excellent movie. I gave it an A 47.82.
I give it an A 87. The ending, I think, is really what kind of took it away.
It makes it not an A+ movie for me. Like the last 15 minutes makes it not an A+ movie. I do like Carla Jean's like whole rant to him or like thing back to him. Like, no, this is your choice. Like you're not a chaos. You're not an engine of fate. You're a killer who's just like deciding to kill people. Like So, as with anything, I like to think of A+50 as like the what is it? The American Beauty curve is A+50 for me. I don't know what A50 for me is, but yes, I'm going with A50.3 as my grade. I do think it like basically drops like half a letter grade by the end of this movie because of the ending of this movie. And again, I fully stand by. Very odd movie, very weird and violent movie.
It's a good modern Western movie.
I did not know what to expect, honestly, for this movie. I knew it was like slightly Western based just because of like how it opened and stuff like that, but it went down some roads that I did not expect it to go. Although maybe I'll say the same thing about the next movie that we're going to talk about, because I don't know if I expected the what I saw in the next movie either.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about that next movie now. There Will Be Blood.
Can I get this out? Can I get this out of the way really quickly? I thought this was like a horror movie, like vampire movie. Like I've never seen this. I just figured it was like a horror movie because it was like There Will Be Blood. And then once I read the synopsis, and then I was like, oh, like this is what it's about. And then I started watching it. I was locked in, but this is like the title of the movie, and then like what you expect the movie to be, not the same.
Yeah,
sorry. I just want to get that very much. This is my first watch on both of these movies, and the title very much does not make you feel like you're watching the movie that the title of the movie is called.
First thoughts on this movie for me. I love the cinematography. I absolutely love Daniel Day-Lewis. I understand the hype behind everyone saying like this is like his best role. Fully support that statement. The score and the plot just didn't care for it. The story was kind of boring to me. I was like how like watching through. I was like, how is this like best movie of the year kind of story?
Damn,
it's just not my interest. It's just not my kind of movie that like follow. And the score.
Right. The score. So I'm going to give the synopsis of everything, and then we'll get into the discussion. We've done this a few times before.
No. I know. I just wanted to get that out of the way because. Again, with these two movies, it's like you see the title and you're like, oh, okay, I'm expecting like a Western. And then for this one, it's like, oh, I'm expecting like a horror movie. And then it's like, that's just not what it is. Yeah, so.
It's based on the 1927 novel Oil by Upton Sinclair,
So
written and
why did-
directed
Sorry.
written and directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, who I have been on a damn journey with
Yeah,
and
no,
still have some to learn about because I was not a fan of the first movie I saw of his, that being Phantom Thread.
wow.
And I still need to go back and
Who
rewatch that
is?
at some point.
Who
But
is?
a lot of damn people did not like Licorice Pizza. I thought The Master was all right,
Movie fucking sucks
but
too.
I loved One Battle After Another that came out last year. That was my number 2 movie of last year. And this movie here, obviously I have a lot of movies from 2007 to watch, but the bar has been set very high. I absolutely adore this movie. I saw this in theaters last year. Regal did like hey, let's show a bunch of movies. You know, Regal's been pretty good about like showing like older movies in theaters a lot. And they were showing There Will Be Blood
The only
at
thing
the
they're good
end
for.
at the end of September, about a week or so after One Battle After Another came out. And so I'm like, oh, I love that movie so much. Let me go see if I can get on the Paul Thomas Anderson train. And I ended up liking There Will Be Blood even more than I did One Battle After Another. And this is a 2.5 hour long movie about oil. And I knew that going in. Unlike Brandon, I knew that that's what this movie was going to be about. And I was a little concerned at first. I was like, 2.5 hours, oil,
With an oil
from the
tycoon.
director of Phantom Thread. What am I signing myself up for tonight?
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Yeah. And lo and behold, I watched a movie that I loved that I think features one of the greatest lead performances in the history of cinema.
Thank
I
you.
think that what Daniel Day-Lewis does in this movie is nothing short of spectacular. And
Yeah.
I mean, this movie is, I mean, it's great cinematography. The music's, I like the music in this. I think Paul Thomas Anderson's direction's great. And I do think that Paul Dano is a lot, but like Quentin Tarantino, love your movies, go fuck yourself, though. Paul Dano's really
Paul
good in
Dano
this.
is cooking in this movie.
He is really good in this movie. And him and Daniel Day-Lewis work really well together in this movie. But this is the Daniel Day-Lewis show. And
So
he is on from the very first second you see him.
cards on the table. Cards on the table, Mitchell. Top lead performance in the last 20 years. I actually don't think it's close.
Those are too many movies for me to think about.
Top
I don't
lead,
think it's
lead
close.
performance of
I'm trying
the
to think of
last
like
20
I'm trying to
years.
think of like people I like. Like we just did like Wolf of Wall Street. Really good lead performance by Leo.
I'm trying to think of other performances that I would even put in the realm of Daniel Day-Lewis.
Maybe
Other
Sinners.
Daniel Day-Lewis roles.
Maybe
So I'm
Sinners
thinking,
with yeah,
no,
Lincoln.
no, not at all.
Lincoln. Not
No.
Sinners. Okay, not Sinners.
I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going through the years. Natalie Portman in Black Swan,
Okay.
I think, is one that I would put in that same
I don't think I've
realm.
seen it, so I can't say yes or no.
I would probably go
Timothy?
Yeah, man. Maybe Timmy and Marty Supreme, but I'm really high on Timmy and Marty Supreme. I have that.
I was gonna say Dune, but Dune 2, but
or Call Me by Your Name. I mean, I honestly
Yeah.
probably Call Me by Your Name even more so. I don't know if you know this. I am a big shareholder of Timothy Chalamet's.
No, please tell us more. Tell us more. That's what I'm telling you.
Maybe-
I don't think you can find 3 performances that are better than this one.
Brie Larson in Room, but like those are
Maybe.
all performances I would put below what Daniel Day-Lewis did. Yeah, man.
So
It's
my
so
knowledge
good.
of this
It's
movie
so good.
going into this was I knew it was a Daniel Day-Lewis masterpiece. I had seen the bowling alley scene on TikTok and a random just like movie scene that popped up.
Oh
I
yeah,
had
yeah.
no idea the two were connected. But
Oh,
going
where he
into
just starts smashing Paul Dan.
yeah, so like I had seen that scene and I was like, I remember seeing that it was for this movie, and I remember that the Tarantino quote about Paul Dano about this movie is like, those are the only things I knew about this movie going into it. And then when I saw
Yeah,
that it was about oil, I'm like, how the fuck does a bowling alley fit into an oil movie?
it's good,
And
good
that's what
stuff.
took me like the first half hour of the movie. I'm like, I'm just sitting there thinking like, how do these two
How does
connect?
the bowling alley come back in?
Where the fuck is there a bowling alley? So
Um,
yeah, that was my background going into this movie. But honestly, I'm gonna say no. I hated the score of this movie. It bothered me.
what?
I don't know what it
Why?
was
It's
about the
like an
sound.
orchestra. They're doing like weird,
Yeah.
like off-putting
Yeah, I don't
chords.
know.
I like
It
it.
just
It was
Set a
very
tone,
like
man.
I mean,
set a
if you
tone.
like it, you like it. For me, I personally,
I
it
think it
was
was
like
about
nails
setting
on
a
the
tone. It
chalkboard
was
for
about
me. I was
yeah.
like,
It was
God, can
about.
you please stop?
I think it was about shocking you. It was like setting a tone
Yeah,
for like, oh, this is
it
like
served its purpose, but I personally hated it
yeah.
the whole time. Like when the pipeline burst and was catching on fire, like that score during those scenes.
This,
I
by
was
the
like,
way, this
please
dude.
fucking stop it, stop it. I was like covering my ears. I'm like, God.
I guess we'll get into the plot of like what Daniel Plainview actually has to go through. This guy. I mean, it opens with him in like 1889.
Yes.
He's a silver miner, and
Hmm.
he is doing something by himself, like down in like a mining for silver, and he's trying to blow up this uh, side of the cave with like dynamite, but he can't get his equipment up in time, and then like the dynamite goes off. Then he falls down the ladder. He like smashes his ankle, breaks his ankle, or breaks his leg, and this man has to climb out of the hole off a ladder and then drag himself to like back to town, and they just like show the
Well,
like distance at
yeah,
which he's
I
like
love
away.
the zoom out where they just show
Yeah,
just
the
Yeah.
zoom out, and
I'm like, oh man, that
I'm like,
sucks.
this is setting a tone for like this guy like doesn't give a
I will
fuck.
I will
This guy
say
is here.
the whole scenes were always the most brutal of just when they have just
You know what would have made
single
that
hit.
pretentious? You know what would have made that scene pretentious, Mitchell? It would have been like a Green Knight situation where they just show 15 minutes of Daniel Day-Lewis crawling across the
Dude,
rocks to get
honestly,
back.
honestly, I thought they were about to do that too. With
Yeah,
how
I thought they
slow
were too. I was like,
how
oh my
slow
god,
and
we're about to
intense
get
the
10 minutes
beginning
of
of the
him
movie
just
was. I was like,
crawling.
please tell me they're not going to do this.
Yeah, thank God it was
But
only like 30 seconds, but I was like,
like
I can't
later on
wait
in the
for like
movie
10-minute crawl.
where you have the guy where they show the guy getting his head smashed in by the rod that came down,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just like, all the deaths they show in the pit were just brutal.
So
Oh
that's
yeah,
another
they're all
thing.
rough.
Very unsafe environment. I get
Yes.
it. Oil fields not easy to work in. Very dangerous jobs. It still is like honestly a dangerous job. Like it's a lot safer than it was, but still a pretty dangerous job. And it's just like they almost were like, oh well, these deaths like it is what it is. Like time to move on. just
I
get him
mean,
a
it's
body bag. Let's move on.
especially for him. I mean, the lives were expendable.
Yeah,
He was all in for the money, and I have to say, like
HW dude.
skipping a little bit ahead into the movie, but
This is my kid HW.
I think the first interaction we get between Paul Dano and Daniel Day Lewis was just chef's kiss. Like just
So I not that I'm confused, but Paul and Eli, they're like twins, correct? And like that's why,
Mhm.
or like that's why Dano and him look the same.
Yeah.
Basically, is the idea okay? Because when you first see Paul Sunday, you're like, then you see like Eli, and you're like, wait, did he just like lie to him?
It
Yeah, you think
it
like
took me a
throws
second
you
as
off.
well. Yeah.
I
Yeah, and
honestly
they don't
thought it was
really
like an alter
explain it.
ego kind of
Yeah,
vibe going.
also, yeah, they don't really explain it. They're just like, and then eventually they do, I think, and they're like, yeah, but it's just like they don't really like go into it and like explain it. They're just like he just like shows up. He's like, "Hi, I'm Eli," and it's like, wait, you said you were Paul? Are you guys like twin brothers? Like, what's going on? Yeah, it's very very interesting.
I liked the battle between Daniel Day-Lewis and Paul Dano in this movie, especially as it gets further along, and the scene in the church where he's yelling about abandoning his child and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
The entire time I'm watching that scene,
You are a
I'm
sinner.
I'm gripped, I'm fascinated, and I'm also like, you're getting something at the end of this movie. I don't know how, because I hadn't seen that bowling alley scene yet. And so I'm like, I have no idea how it's going to come to you, but it's going to. And
He's
nothing.
also he's a
Good.
false prophet. I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis calls it, like, his character calls it out, false prophet. Like, you're just making stuff up. Like, you're just
And
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. I still, throughout the entire movie, was wondering where the fuck is this bowling alley coming into play.
This man wanted to watch Kingpin. He went in expecting a bowling movie.
I wasn't expecting a bowling movie. I was just expecting a bowling alley to appear at some point in the movie. Not the
I have to think. Okay, I'm sure I don't know if this is. I'm gonna actually maybe should look this up. I don't know if the characters' names in the book is like Daniel Plainview and Paul Sunday, but I almost feel like they called them Daniel and Paul just so when those two locked in method acting, they were like, all right, we got to refer to him as Daniel and Paul because like those guys aren't going to snap out of their method acting when
Yeah.
it comes to like anything. Like we got to call him Daniel. Oh, like, he's not going to respond to anything else.
If we want to
unless
get
call him
anything
Daniel.
through to him,
Yeah,
this
gotta
is how
call him
we have to
Daniel.
do it. Yeah, I also, fun fact, when I left the movie, I had to go get a milkshake. I had to. I
have a milkshake right behind me in the
I
freezer.
that whole I drink your milkshake. I drink
I
it
take
up.
the straw and I slurp it up.
It's iconic and legendary for a reason, because and Daniel Day-Lewis, again, he's on from the second this movie starts. Really, when is he ever off as an actor? But this role in particular,
I mean, people
Dude
say
just-
Lincoln is like one of his best roles. I gotta be honest, this is like his
this
best.
blows Lincoln out. This makes Lincoln look like a 7-year-old toddler. 7-year-old toddler, like a 7-year-old at a school play.
Oh,
this
this is
makes
like
every other
like your child's
performance.
first acting performance.
Yeah.
It's like Lincoln.
Yeah, baby's first play.
I did have to go back and look up and research to see when milkshakes were created because I'm like, this is the 1920s and we're screaming about milkshakes like they're super popular. I'm like,
It was
were they even
1929,
around?
so we're good.
So
That had to be around by then, right?
Yeah.
Drainage.
So apparently in 1885 is when
Yeah,
it
he
was
starts
created.
screaming about drainage.
Drainage and milkshake.
Drainage.
I'm like, yeah, I need to go to a milkshake. I need to go
The
get some
best is Eli
cookout.
thinks he's like one up to him. Like he's like, oh, like I know that Paul sent you here, and like there's oil. I'm gonna one up you. Ask for $10,000. Okay, fine. We'll settle at 5,000. But I have this in my back pocket the whole time. Like when the bandies when their track comes available, like you're gonna get fucked. And then he's like, oh, you don't know about drainage, bitch? Oh my god, this is too good. Yeah. Oh man, it's too good. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Paul Dano's character is right.
Wait, we're like halfway through the movie at this point.
No. Eli's character is right. He's a bitch to HW.
Well, yeah.
What a dick.
I mean, he literally ends the movie calling him a bastard in a basket.
Yeah,
Yes.
And I can't believe HW came back and had a relationship with them.
Did he?
I mean,
I
guess he
suppose.
thought. I guess he thought he did until he didn't.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, he came to him and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do my own thing," and he's like, "Fuck you." Who do you think made you? I did. It's like Jesus. This dude pulls no punches. Like he does not care.
A bastard in a basket.
Yeah, just screaming at him the whole time. And of course, he can't hear him because he's deaf in both ears. Yeah, it's just like so he's just yelling for performative sake. Like he's just screaming to scream.
Well, yeah,
It's
that
the
sounds
same
like.
thing.
It also kind of draws
it's
a
very
parallel.
much his character. It's very much his character.
But it also kind of draws a parallel between him and Eli. Like yelling
both
for the sake
performative.
of yelling, trying to control other people.
Yeah, they're both performative people. Well, also he's trying to embarrass. Who was the? Was it Fletcher who was trying to buy the?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like trying to embarrass him at the dinner. He like covers his face so the guy like knows he's like really not saying something to HW. He's just like saying something super loud and disrespectful to like. He's like, "Oh yeah, this bitch tried to buy my stuff for $1,000,000, but I told him to shove it." And I'm like, what is this guy doing? This guy is unhinged. All the guy said was, you can like go be with your son now. I guess to Fletcher's point of view, or who, yeah, to his point of view, he thought he had a actual relationship with his son in quotes, when in fact that guy was just using HW the whole time. So maybe that's why he was upset that like this guy would call him out as being like a loving father who would like spend time with his son after he made $1,000,000, and he's like, no, screw you, I'm gonna make even more money, and then I'm gonna shove it in your face. But I guess you don't get that rich, Mitchell, unless you got that dog in you or whatever, you know.
Apparently, the role of Paul and Eli were going to be two different actors. It was going to be someone else by the name of
That
Kel
seems like
O'Neill.
That seems like a sinner situation.
By the name of Kel O'Neill, who was originally going to be playing Eli. So Paul Dano originally had a much smaller role in this movie.
Do you know why O'Neill couldn't do it?
Apparently, he fell out of love with acting and did not have a good relationship with Paul Thomas Anderson.
That's
so
fair. Hey,
So he left the project very early, and
then
Paul
Dano was like, "Hey, I can do this."
But here's the thing: Paul Dano only had 4 days to prepare.
There's no way
to take on the much bigger role. The previous 2 weeks of scenes with them had to be reshot because they left the project. So Paul Dano was prepared to play a very small role, and suddenly it's like, hey, guess what? You're the second biggest actor in this now. So have fun, and you're going to be going up against Daniel Day-Lewis on his best day.
God, honestly, I like Tarantino. Like, again, we'll praise Tarantino's work for second best director out there doing it, third best director out there doing it right now. But yeah, doesn't he feel foolish that Paul Dano took this role in 4 days?
He doesn't, because he thinks that everything he says is correct. I love Tarantino as a director, but his opinion on most of the things he says regarding movies is dumb as shit.
Yeah,
I concur.
Paul Dano crushed it. I think this performance is awesome. Don't get me wrong, Javier Bardem should have won, but there was a reason I asked, like, did he win supporting actor? Because Paul Dano, I feel like any other year, Paul Dano's winning this award.
I do not have context because I have not seen any of the other movies that were in this category. But the other nominees for Best Supporting Actor that year were Casey Affleck for, get ready for this mouthful, The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford.
Oh, okay.
You have Philip Seymour Hoffman in Charlie Wilson's War. You have Hal Holbrook in Into the Wild. And Tom Wilkinson in Michael Clayton. I have not seen a single one of those movies. 2007.
I don't think I've even heard of half of those movies.
I have, but 2007 is a major blind spot for me. Because I really started getting into movies in 2008 and 2009. So 07's a bit of a blind spot. So I don't know if Paul Dano should have been nominated over those guys.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen Paul Dano get nominated, though, because he is very, very good in this movie. And I think that any hate that comes to him from anybody, which I've only ever heard one person shit on him, it just happens to be that is one of the most prolific directors in the history of Hollywood. But I do not agree with that assessment of this movie.
I will say, you see him play Eli, and then you're like, okay, now I see the vision for the Riddler. It's like, oh no, this wasn't how it was supposed to go. I'm like, that's something Eli would do. Just start like
Yeah.
crying and bitching and no,
Yeah.
no, no. Oh, it's good stuff. Good stuff. I saw the
Yeah, no.
vision now. I hope when they were casting the Batman, they were like, guys, you remember back to There Will Be Blood? We have a Riddler. We have a Riddler.
By the way, in July of 2025, Rolling Stone released their top movies of the 21st century so far. There Will Be Blood was ranked number 1 on that list.
Wow.
I'm not
So
totally shocked. I love
can't
this
even
movie.
be mad at that.
Don't get me wrong, I love this movie. Not totally shocked, but also the book is called what? Like Oil. Again, the decision to title it "There Will Be Blood," very interesting decision, I would say.
Yeah, I don't think oil ! Would have quite sold
Oil
well.
and blood is what they should have called it. Or yeah,
I like There Will Be Blood, but yeah,
That's
I
fine.
understand that if you are unfamiliar with it, you're thinking horror movie, but
Yeah.
no, not that at all. This
Especially
was
when you see
very
Eli like talking about like getting rid of ghosts and like demons. Like you only see
Yeah.
those scenes. Yeah. But anyway,
This movie got extremely close to my Hall of Fame.
Thank
I
God.
very nearly got it there. I think that I don't know. Maybe if it was like 10 minutes shorter, could have got there. I don't know. Just I did feel the runtime a little bit, but
I felt
Yeah.
that.
but I gave it an A plus 70.37. I mean, it got extremely close. This is an all time great. As far as just art is concerned and craftsmanship, this is one of the best movies that I have seen. I don't, it's not my Hall of Fame because it's not something that I can really see myself like going back to a whole lot. And you have to really be like Schindler's List is like the only thing that can really transcend. I wouldn't go back to this a
Watchability.
whole hell of a lot to make the Hall of Fame. And that's a movie I think is legitimately the greatest movie ever made. So that's kind of where the bar is. But hey, this is a special movie, and everyone, including Paul Dano, of course, should be proud of the work that they did. And by the way, Scott Rudin produced this movie. Do you know what other movie Scott Rudin produced in 2007?
No Country for Old Men.
No idea.
No Country for Old Men. So
Yeah.
he was winning regardless.
Damn.
He's
Yeah,
like, I'm taking home
I
Best
noticed
Picture.
that.
I don't give a fuck.
I noticed that based off like the Vantage Productions or whatever. Yeah, I noticed that when I was like when the title openings started. Do you want to go, Tommy? I want to save the suspense because
Yeah, you're gonna both hate. I gave this an A minus, like 15.
I mean,
It's just,
boo. But
I'm not
I
even mad.
appreciate.
but
the
I'm
work.
not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. I get it.
I couldn't get into the movie itself, but I really enjoyed the cinematography of it. I really enjoyed Daniel Day-Lewis and Paul Dano. I couldn't get into the actual movie itself.
Oh, apparently that actor O'Neill was fired.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
So
I mean,
but I understand where you're coming from, Tommy, because there have been other Paul Thomas Anderson movies that everyone loves that I've just been like,
I'm
man,
just not.
and
a
I've
Paul
I mean,
Thomas-
yeah.
and I've been a lot lower than an
I
A
was
minus on those.
I was mean
So,
about Licorice Pizza. It doesn't fucking suck. It's like a C, but it's not
But
as
that's
good
a
as
lot
everyone
lower than an
says
A
it is.
minus.
Yeah, it's And Phantom Thread, I mean that and The Green Knight are the most pretentious movies I've ever seen in my entire life. So
yeah.
unlike Mitchell, I have the balls to put my balls on the table here and say that this is a Hall of Fame movie for me.
Nice.
A plus 77.9.
Nice. All right.
I personally think I will actually rewatch this movie within the year.
I don't think I could ever rewatch.
Really?
it.
Within the year?
I love the idea of Daniel Day-Lewis, and like I also kind of like I like the score a lot. I like the setup a lot.
Take that, Tommy.
I'd say, hey, if you like it, good for you. I can stand it.
I don't mind the oil aspect of it. Maybe I might get into Landman, who knows.
Hey,
But yeah, just a phenomenal fucking movie. Like, it's just so good, dude. So good. And Paul Dano, like, I'm telling you, any other year, he's probably winning supporting actor. Like that, like this performance is like it almost made me want to like throw my like. I was watching on my PlayStation. I almost wanted to like throw my PlayStation controller. I'm like, okay, dude, like you're clearly like conning all these people right now. Like the Third Revelation Church, like come on now, like this is just. And when Daniel Day-Lewis starts giving it back to him, like, oh, you're the third revelation. I'm the third revelation. Like I'm like, oh, like this is too good. And then of course he beats his head in with the bowling pin. Sorry, spoiler.
As one tends to do.
Yeah. So, which by the way, graphic and disgusting. I kind of wanted to see it, but they didn't give us that that version. Just smashing the head in. Yeah, I'll put it this way. I'm gonna see this movie within a year. I don't know if I'm gonna go back to No Country for Old Men in like a year.
Yeah, that I'm with you on.
I'd watch No Country first.
So, we've got the votes of Brandon and I think that There Will Be Blood was the movie that should have won Best Picture, whereas Tommy thinks that the Academy got it right in 2007,
the Academy
awarding Best Picture to No Country for Old Men. Paul Thomas Anderson did eventually get his with One Battle After Another. I think Sinners should have won that one, but you know, it is what it is. And the Coen Brothers, I mean, that wasn't their first time winning Best Picture either. I think that their best movie did win Best Picture when Fargo won. I'm a big fan of Fargo, so I'm sure we will get to that down the road. But love me some Fargo.
That's a dark comedy.
I think that might be the dark comedy, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
That's
like
movie.
the genre dark comedy.
Yeah. But Fargo, unfortunately, is not next up on the list. Next up on the list, we get back to the Predator universe as we watch Predator 2 and Predators. Now, as far as the random goes, we want random to be accessible, and we want random to be on streaming services so we don't have to pay for more than we have to. So right now, as it stands, the next random podcast would be 2 romance-adjacent movies, 10 Things I Hate About You, and The Last Song. You get Miley Cyrus doing some acting, but we'll see if those 2 remain on streaming services. They are
it's gonna be an up. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Well, yeah, that's from I think nope.
That's from the Miley.
That's from Hannah Montana movie.
Yeah, that's from the Hannah Montana.
No, not the Miley Cyrus movie.
Yeah.
The Hannah Montana.
Well, might as well be.
Yeah, basically. And then after that, I think the plan is to do the 2011 podcast, which what a dog shit ass year. But we're gonna find the good, and we're gonna talk about the bad. Looking at you, Adam Sandler. But yep, that's coming up. So talk to you then. Bye.